Hello, dear all. This is Meenakshi Narula from Mentoring the Mentors. Wishing you all a very good evening and a very happy International Day of Peace. Continuing our journey of sharing various teaching strategies. Today, I'm again here with all of you with another amazing strategy. That is hot seating strategy, right? We'll be discussing about what is this strategy all about, how and where this strategy can be used, how many children can be accommodated in this strategy, which age group is this strategy meant for, and what is the requirement, what all things are required for this strategy, what are the benefits of this strategy. We'll be discussing each and everything, right? But certainly I would like to tell you it's hot seating strategy. It is amazing. It is effective strategy that help explore and develop the character. It helps the students so that they can explore the character, know more about the character of a story, of a poem, of any historical figure, of any of the character. It can be anything. Maybe they are learning about various organs of the organ system. Maybe they are learning about various parts of the plant. It can be anything. They are talking about various arithmetic operations in mathematics. Anything they can do. And this is amazing strategy. You will be able to explore a number of things as we move on, as we proceed further. So hot seating strategy, it requires deep understanding of the subject and ability to improvise while at the same time remaining within the character itself, right? So here in this strategy, where either a student or a teacher portrays the role of a character. As I've already said, it's not subject specific. Any of the subject you can, teach through this strategy. And the person within the character who is hot seated should know many details about the character, about the time period, societal background, economic drivers, and all other things, so that the other students, when they would be asking questions, the child who is acting as a particular character should be able to answer all those questions. So we will be discussing all those things here in detail. So moving ahead, now what this strategy, how we will be able to implement this strategy. There are different steps. What is to be done? The first and foremost step is choose a list of the characters from the piece of literature. Again, because here I'm talking about literature, is English, Hindi, what are the kinds of languages we are teaching, Punjabi, right? The children, they can pick and choose any character, or again, even maybe teacher, she will be able to allot a particular character to a particular student. Now, how the same can be done in my class? What do I use is I create different kinds of popsicles, right? And then from that, I pick and choose the name of the student, and then maybe the name of the character that the child will be portraying. So these kinds of popsicles can be created well in advance with the name of the students and the name of the characters. So accordingly, we can pick and choose, and we can decide which child will be portraying which particular character in a particular time, right? So this is how the same can be done. And like suppose one child A is performing a particular character and is going to be hot seated. So this child has to prepare well in advance about the allocated character and should study each and everything related to that particular character. And now, what about the rest of the students of the class or of the group? These students should also study about the situation, about the era. They should be researching about the circumstances and would be preparing the questions well in advance so that they'll be able to ask such kind of questions to that particular student who is being hot seated, right? So now these students, they can also act suppose student A is portraying a particular character and student B, student C, D, E, F, how many you want to take in a group, they can enact as a teacher in that particular era or time period, doctor, as a journalist, and common citizen. I mean, so that they will be able to ask question while being in that particular character. This is how you will be able to use this strategy, right? So what else about this? Moving ahead, for that, now have each character briefly begin with introducing themselves. Suppose this is child A portraying the character of a particular character from a particular story. Can be Snow White, Cinderella, it can be Rapunzel. I mean, sorry, I'm talking about fairy tales. It can be anything, any historical figure you are talking about. You're talking about Mughal Empire, right? Maybe you are talking about Akbar the Great, or Tenali Rama. Any of the character you can choose as per your choice, right? So, I mean, each character has first to introduce himself or herself, providing some background knowledge, right? And what their beliefs are there on the current topic of discussion, right? And the students may ask each character questions based on the research that I've already discussed. They also have to prepare well in advance. So here in this strategy, each and every child becomes very, very important in the class, in whatever they are students, they are in the group. Like, for example, it's not only the child who is being hot seated has to prepare for that particular character, but in fact, other children who would be asking questions, they also have to research a lot and prepare the questionnaire. This is how this strategy works. Now, here is a glimpse of the strategy. How it is being done? Let me wait. Just a minute. Let me minimize myself so that you will be able to get a good glimpse of the screen, how it works. Now here, you can see at present in the screen, the teacher is hot seated. Now here, this is really very important when you are using this strategy in your class for the very first time. The teacher should be hot seated so that teacher can model it, how the strategy works. And other students in the group, they would be asking questions. Now, if there are two parallel teachers in a class, or maybe in your school, there are two teachers, there is one assistant teacher as well, howsoever it works, right? Or maybe two teachers can collaborate also, and together you can work, where one teacher can be hot seated and another teacher can help the children facilitate how to ask questions, what kind of questions to be asked. Like all these children who are there in the group, they are asking all open-ended questions. Who, why, how, what, where, when. So they'll be able to ask different kinds of questions, and all questions should be open-ended questions, right? Like, for example, suppose the teacher or the student who is being hot seated will be introducing himself or herself related to the character that he or she is portraying. And the children would be asking questions. What kind of questions they can ask? How did you feel in that particular situation? Right? Why did you do that? Like, what is the thing that maybe motivated you to go ahead in your decision? And any kind of ABCD questions can be asked. So here comes the role of the teacher, so that she or he will be guiding the students what kind of questions to be asked, right? So here, this is a wonderful strategy, because the child or whosoever is performing the role of a particular character will be able to walk in the shoes of the character. This is really, really very important, right? So now, moving ahead, as you can see here in this strategy, when we are talking about like how this strategy works, this is another variation of the strategy. In this strategy, like it's not only one child who will be hot seated. You can conduct these activities in more than one group, right? You can divide your class into 4 to 5 groups of 5 students or 6 students each, in which one child will be portraying the character and the other children will be asking questions, right? So just would like to give you one example. If you are talking about digestive system in your class or any of the other organ system, respiratory system, reproductive system, or maybe parts of the plant you are teaching, right? Any other thing. Okay, let's take the example of digestive system. You are teaching in the class and then you select the students by picking up their names from the popsicles, or on this online platform you can go for a number of free apps tools that are available, so that you can randomly select the students as well as the characters that they are portraying, right? So suppose you have selected any 2 3 4 students, you will allot, okay, student A will be portraying the role of stomach, and then student B will portraying the role of small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. Maybe you can start it from anywhere, esophagus you're talking about. I mean, this kind of roles can be allotted to the students, and rest of the students would be asking questions, right? Asking questions like, for example, the students, they are asking questions to esophagus about the movement of the food in the esophagus. What kind of movement is there? How do you feel when the food moves from mouth through you means esophagus to stomach? I mean, how do you feel? What kind of contractions and relaxation feelings are there? I mean, these kind of questions that students, they can ask, right? I'm giving you example from science. You can go ahead with any of the subject, right? Hindi, English, Punjabi, sciences, social sciences, mathematics, any kind of operations you can talk about, right? So this is how this strategy works. Now, another variation for this is, now when the students, they are portraying the role of a particular character, they can use some kind of props as well to get a feel of the character. They can wear goggles, hair accessories, right? Some kind of clothing, stoles, necktie, right? I have just tried to depict them in some kind of role of character here in the image as well. So this is how the child will get a feel also. So this is how this strategy works. And another thing, another variation for this strategy, as you can see here on the screen, here it's not necessary. Like, I mean, only one child would be hot seated. You can make, I mean, students sit on the hot seat in pairs or maybe in group, right? Like, for example, you are teaching any other thing. Let's take an example of 7 dwarfs. You can make them sit in a group and you can ask, other children can ask questions to them and they will be collectively able to answer all those questions, right? So Goldilocks and Three Bears, these kind of stories from literature, anything, you can go ahead with this. And even sciences also, if when you are talking about a particular system, you can make different organs sit at one place to be hot seated and children can ask questions to them. So there are a number of variations. This is up to you. You are free to use any of the variation. You can bring any of the changes in your strategy, right? But certainly, I would like to tell you this strategy is a wonderful strategy. It will help your children to develop their thinking, to even empathize, to walk in the shoes of the character, and it fosters metacognition, thinking about thinking. Because when all the questions will be asked, they all will be open-ended questions, right? And let's talk about some of the benefits of this strategy. Right, as I have been already insisting on this point, like this strategy help the students to walk in the shoes of the character. And it helps the children to explore and develop the character because they'll be studying a lot about the character. And the children who would be asking questions, they also have to research a lot about that particular character, about the situation, about the circumstances, right? Each and everything. And it also helps them develop their listening skills, their speaking skills, right? Enhances writing as well as performance. Obviously, when they'll be able to get to know more about the character, in-depth understanding, so their writing will become better. They'll be able to perform better, right? And open-ended questions, it will develop their thinking, helps in metacognition, fosters metacognitions, and develop emotional well-being also. How come? When you are playing the role of a particular character, you are empathizing the situation, right? And it will help you develop emotions as well. You'll be able to get to know why that particular character behaved like that in particular situation, right? And it also improves confidence. You will be searching a lot, you'll gather a lot of data, a lot of information, and you are ready, you are being hot seated, you are ready, like yes, anybody will be able to ask questions related to a particular character, particular theme, right? And it improves confidence and understand characters motivation, right? So these are some of the benefits of this strategy. So I really want you to use this kind of strategy in your class and make your classes engaging, enriching, and exciting so that we can give our students the very best. And we together, if we join our hands, right, move together, help each other, certainly we are going to rock. We are going to help achieve SDG 4, that is quality education. Let's provide quality education to our students, and this is being highlighted in national education policy as well, right? We have to discourage rote learning. So we need to learn new methodologies of teaching so that let us together bring a change. Like it should not be only mugging up of the content, the rote learning and all. There should be thinking that we together have to develop for our students. If you really like my initiative of sharing these kind of strategies with you, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and do not forget to share your valuable information, your thoughts with me. And if you are using these wonderful strategies, make sure you share your experiences also with me. And you can also suggest some of the topics to me so that I can share my information, my learning, my experience with you all through these videos. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day ahead.